Most GoHighLevel websites look cheap because they all use the same recycled templates, default sections, and boring buttons. So here's 10 effects and design tricks that make your GoHighLevel websites look custom coded, more premium, and way easier to sell to clients. So the first trick is to always use a clean hero section with strong spacing, a clear headline, a simple description, a clear call to action, and an engaging visual. And this matters because most cheap GoHighLevel websites look cheap even before the visitor starts scrolling because the hero is so cramped and template looking. Now, once the layout is clean, the next thing that instantly separates cheap from premium is depth. So add background depth with gradients, glow effects, and parallax. For example, for this particular hero section, instead of using a completely flat black background, I use this really nice soft purple gradient as a background, and on top of that I integrated a double parallax effect for the visual plus an opacity separation between different parts of the visual, and all of these combined instantly make this page feel more modern, immersive, and custom designed. But depth only works if the content sitting on top of it also feels intentional, and that starts with cards, so make sure to always upgrade the basic boxes into premium cards. Just like I did here, where I transform some simple boring cards into premium and attention-grabbing elements that also feature this really cool reactive glow hover effect, which displays a brighter border plus a textured background, which obviously contributes to the depth of the cards. And you can very easily implement something like this with just a few copy and paste CSS and JavaScript snippets. So if you want to get access to this particular effect plus a ton more, you can check out my Notion doc in the first link in the description. Now that the sections have structure, the next thing people notice is what they can actually click. So make your buttons feel custom coded, because default buttons like these three here are one of the fastest ways to make a GoHighLevel website look cheap, whereas these ones here, apart from looking exactly the same, have different effects that make them stand out. For example, this one right here has a zoom in and a shadow and a shimmer effect, which is 10 times better than the default GoHighLevel button or these native effects from GoHighLevel. I mean, just look at it. The next one has a unique effect which only activates on click, and it simulates a key press. And of course you can combine different effects like these ones here, and you can get something like this. This one is a neon text highlighter, and of course if you click it you get this effect, so you can mix and match all the effects to create some really cool buttons. This one here has a zoom in and shadow and a side fill background change effect, and this one here has only a zoom in plus a gradient background change. And these are just a few, because in my Notion doc I have one tutorial that consists of 31 button effects plus a few others that are more advanced, and I'm also considering to add more. But buttons aren't the only interactive elements. The entire page should respond when people move through it. So add motion to key elements. For example, animated counters or scroll-based parallax for different sections, like this portfolio slider right here, or this card hover effect that displays more information depending on which card you are hovering, or even this complex GSAP powered snap to scroll effect combined with a video scrubbing hero section, just like in this example right here. Just look at how smooth it feels. Hover effects make the page feel interactive, but the next trick makes the page feel expansive before the user even clicks anything. And I'm talking about scroll reveal animations. And for this particular hero section, as you can see, when we load the page for the first time, we get this really cool animation for the headline that also works when you scroll away from the headline, and it has a scrub property, meaning you can pause mid-animation and it disappears, and then when you scroll back to it, it reappears with basically the reversed animation. And you can apply similar effects to all kinds of sections that will instantly make your website look premium. Now, once you have motion, the next step is making the page feel more visual, because most GoHighLevel websites rely way too much on text. So for this, you can use image masking and framing. I mean, just look at this hero section. If I were to use raw images dropped into this website, it would just look unfinished. But if I frame them like this with a little glow, and I have this amazing effect where the first card transforms into the actual hero section, plus it changes the text and description and everything makes the design feel intentional, and it's just really, really cool, and you can't even tell that this was done with GoHighLevel. Now at this point the website already looks cleaner and more premium, but the next effect is what really starts making the site feel expensive. So add glass morphism and blur layers. Take a look at this hero section, for example, that incorporates a glass-like blurred navigation menu, and it looks absolutely stunning when you start scrolling, and you can see all the elements through the background of the navigation menu, and it looks absolutely beautiful. And the same things apply when you also hover some of the items, for example these features. Let me just go here, and as you can see, it has that blur effect on its background. And this animation as well has a glassy blurred effect, and you can barely see the background through it, but it adds a really, really nice touch to the whole hero section, making it premium. Another example is this grid section that I wanted to simulate some glass panels, and you have these glass cards, and inside them you also have these glassy buttons that feature a shimmer effect, which works really, really well with glass morphism. Now add pinned scroll sections if you want your GoHighLevel websites to start feeling truly custom built. I mean, just look at this example. You start scrolling to a section that displays a headline, and when the section reaches the middle of the screen, it stops in place, and then the headline starts scrolling and it displays a second headline, then a third headline, and then an image that zooms in just like this, and once its animation finishes, then the whole section unlocks and continues the normal scrolling, and the same thing goes in reverse as well, really, really beautifully. And in my Notion doc I have multiple such effects, for example stacked pin effect plus fade, pin effect plus 3D flip on scroll, sequential scroll animation, and even scroll freeze plus horizontal scrolling, which is an absolute game changer for any GoHighLevel website. Now stop making every section perfectly centered and instead use asymmetrical layouts to create visual tension and a more custom designed feel. Just like this example here, which features an off-centered portfolio slider, and even Apple uses something like this, and as you can see, it looks absolutely stunning and very beautifully designed. Now, those are just a few effects and tricks, but if you want to see 20 lessons that I learned after making over 150 GoHighLevel websites, check out this video right here.